Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And this day just goes on and on and on. More stuff, more reports. There's another breaking news, which I'll be doing straight away after this one. But this is Humza Yousaf is unable to say whether Peter Murrell is having his legal case paid for by the SNP. Peter Murrell no longer works for the SNP. He is no longer an employee of the SNP. He has no connection to the SNP. So why would they be paying his legal bill? It seems that there are a lot of questions that the SNP membership may want to ask. Like, if we're paying our money for independence, why are you spending it on protecting a potential crook who may have embezzled money from our party? Our money. I think it's going to be squeaky bum time for Humza Yousaf. He's got loads of questions to answer. All these questions are being asked of him. He's not answering anything. He will not confirm or deny the rumour that it is being paid by the SNP. So I'll have a look at this article and see the latest in a line of terrible decisions by Humza Yousaf and the SNP in general. Here goes. So, Humza Yousaf cannot say if Peter Murrell's legal fees are being paid by the SNP. Actually, he can say. He's choosing not to say. He won't say. Not that he can't say. The First Minister also confirmed that Nicola Sturgeon has not lost the whip after her husband was arrested by cops as they probe the SNP's finances. I think, to be fair, it would be very hard for them to justify taking the whip off her if he was the one arrested. If she was arrested and questioned too, it would then become a matter of choice to make that decision. Humza Yousaf has been unable to say whether or not the SNP was paying Peter Murrell's legal fees after his arrest and questioning by police in relation to the party's finances. Despite Nicola Sturgeon's husband no longer officially working as the chief executive, the First Minister could not tell journalists whether his lawyer was being funded by the Nationalists. No, it isn't a case of could not tell them, chose not to tell them. He could have told them, but he knows that if he tells the truth, which is probably yes, because that would be, if Murrell wasn't being paid by the SNP, he would be quite easily say, no, he's funding his own defence, and that would be fine. The fact that he's avoiding that question and not answering it means it is without doubt that Murrell is having his defence paid for by the SNP. So the SNP members need to ask why. Why is their membership money going to pay this potential crook's legal fees? A man who potentially stole money from the party, maybe, allegedly. He claimed that he had not spoken to him since he's resigned from the party role, and he had not talked to Miss Sturgeon since the day he was voted in as First Minister at Holyrood. So it is just a complete, utter lie. Why does the man lie about things that are quite clearly, obviously able to be found out? It was a quote from Yes Minister years ago, where Sir Humphrey was telling Jim, and he said, we always tell the truth. And he said, always? Well, he said, we always tell them the truth when it's quite easy for them to find it out. And so that's where it is. So basically, they don't say anything until they have to. And that's what he's doing. But why would he lie about things that are so easily provable to be lies? The man is a moron. Anyway, it goes on, and here we go. This is despite him boasting during his leadership campaign that he would have his former boss on speed dial due to the closeness of their relationship. He keeps on about how close he is, and yet he's saying that he hasn't spoken to her in 9 days. That smells of bullshit. He also laughed off claims that he would have lost the race to be the First Minister if Mr Murrell had been arrested during the campaign, dismissing it as a conspiracy theory. Yes, he's laughing, but he's doing that cautious, nervous laugh of a man who knows that the truth has been exposed, and he's trying to show that he's not concerned. And yet inside, he's deeply concerned because he knows it's true. If this had have all come out before the election, he would not be First Minister, and he knows it. He absolutely knows it. When asked by The Telegraph whether the SNP was paying their former chief executive's legal fees, Yousaf said, I will need to look at the detail of that. Of course, we have a party lawyer who, as you'd imagine, is for all party staff, but I'll have to look at the detail around Peter's legal fees. That means, yes, he is, but I'm not going to say that. It's quite simple. He was pressed on the fact that Mr Murrell was no longer an employee and said he's not anymore, but there may be obligations around that. But that is something I'm looking at and exploring. If you haven't spoken to your chief solicitor, you're not doing your job. You are the leader of the party. The very first thing you should have done was be speaking to the solicitor of your party. If you haven't done that, it shows how stupid you are, it shows how inept you are, and it shows that you are the wrong person for the job. With the former chief executive questioned under caution by police, comparisons were made to two SNP politicians who lost the whip while they were getting investigated by detectives, Michelle Thompson and Natalie McGarry. Both were probed for financial irregularities, with the latter jailed for embezzlement. It's such an ugly word, but it scores a lot in Scrabble. Mr Yousaf was asked if this meant that Miss Sturgeon would lose the whip and whether her husband remained a member of the Nationalist Party. He said, of course, she will still be given the whip. In terms of Peter Murrell's membership status, I would have to check that, whether he is still a member. He may be a member of the party, but he's not employed by them. He should not be getting his legal fees paid by the party. He's a private citizen who's joined, who is a member of a party. He's not an employee of that party. It's like saying, you join a working man's club and then you commit a crime. You can't use the working man's club solicitor to sort you out. That's not how it works. Anyway, remember, our justice system works on the premise, correctly, that people are innocent until proven guilty. Excuse me, no, you brought the hate laws in, which actually turns that on its head, and you are presumed guilty until you can prove your innocence. So don't come the cod, you lying sod. He can't help himself but lie all the time. All the time he lies. Of course, he's been questioned under caution, which is not an insignificant point, but he has been released without charge. There may be developments in that case, and I'll watch the police investigation closely. I'm sure you're being briefed by your employees in the police. Police officers remain situated outside the Murrell Sturgeon family home in Uddingston late into Thursday afternoon, where cops were seen loading items into vans which then drove off. The probe revolves around an allegedly missing $600k of cash, which the SNP fundraised for a second independence referendum. It was accused of instead spending that money elsewhere after only $96,000 was left in the bank at the end of 2019. Mr Murrell's latest party figure to be questioned by police, although he's the only one so far to be taken into custody and forced to answer questions under caution. And I think he may well be back in custody soon. But, why are they paying his legal fees? Because the fact he did not deny it means it's happening. It's proof by absence. There was no flat denial, therefore it's true. I'm afraid he can't help but lie. He is the worst, and he's not even good at it. That's the trouble. Anyway, I shall round off, come up, and we'll finish the video. So there we are. The membership of the SNP are without doubt paying the legal fees of the most innocent man in Scotland. Murrell is not paying to defend himself. He's having that bill catered for by other people. He is a private citizen. He's not employed by the SNP, and questions need to be asked as to the finances. Why are they paying his legal fees? And I do hope that this goes through the accounts and is seen as something illegal, and that the commission that runs these things can sort of point to it and tell them that they can't do that, and force Murrell to pay back every single penny. And it won't be cheap. Maybe he can sell one of his many houses. But as for him, Humza Yousaf, the fact that he keeps lying, it must be worrying. He gets nothing right. His whole career is failure. The news reports, even just today's reports, are horrendous for this man. He must be feeling the strain. I think perhaps he's rather tired. Perhaps he should resign and go live a quiet life where he won't come under so much scrutiny. He doesn't like it. And every time anyone scrutinises him, don't know, late in the day, anytime anyone scrutinises him, he really gets upset about it. And you can see him thinking, is it time to play the card yet? This is constant on me. It's not constant on the other people. It must be because I'm brown. That's how he's thinking all the time. And you can see it. The man is incapable. He cannot answer questions. He cannot lie. He does lie, but he can't do it. He's no good at it. You'd have thought, learning under Sturgeon, you'd have been excellent, but alas not. Anyway, I shall round off there. Thank you very much for listening. If you like what you've seen here on the channel, please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, share the video, and until next time, stay safe, stay well, never believe Humza Yousaf, and goodbye.